Starting right now. Can I have somebody give me a thumbs up if they see the PowerPoint in the background for our online folks? Perfect. Okay. Well, with that, I'm gonna come down this way, and we're just gonna go off our agenda. I sent it via email, so if you want to pull it up and follow along with me, that'd be great. But we're just gonna start with some icebreaker / introductions. So if you would, I'll start, but just say your name, if you're representing an organization, what organization. And then our icebreaker question is, do you have a New Year's resolution for 2025? You can just share one if you don't have one. Valid. You don't have to share any of them. Hi, my name is Mina Chappelle. I'm with Livable Neighborhoods. I'm entering into 2025 as the program coordinator / executive director. I'm very excited for that. And my New Year's resolution is I stopped eating chicken, and I love lamb, but I stopped eating lamb, and I'm trying to go pescatarian in 2025. And I actually had a chicken burrito like 2 days ago, but I tried my hardest, I promise. Yeah, I did really good so far. Yeah. So you want to go next? I can just pick on somebody.
I can go if you want to go.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Great. I am Shelby Woodward. I am the Violence Prevention Coordinator at the Public Health Department. I love a fresh start. I am guilty of like not changing my behaviors until like the start of the week or like until it hits an 8 o'clock or something, instead of like 7:57. And so, but I always fail. And so instead of having a resolution, I just have like words of encouragement for me throughout the year of like being consistent and being intentional. I think that will just like help me refocus some behavior changes. And also I want to get through my library of books that I haven't read yet. So those are my two kind of things.
And my name is Angela Turner. I'm with Simmons Security. We're a private security company. We provide the contract for the Downtown Improvement District. So that's part of why I'm here. I'm also a Wyandotte County resident and live in Piper. I don't normally make resolutions, but I make goals. And so one of my goals is to be more intentional about my time and making time with friends and family.
Hi, I'm Tanya Love. I'm a community member. And I don't like New Year's resolutions either, but one of my goals is to schedule my time better. I haven't worked a full-time job in over 20 years. So I'm trying to learn how to work 8 hours. How to do like 4 hours at a time and not get up and move. And yeah, start my day off with my workout first versus doing a bunch of stuff and then doing my workout. So just trying to structure my schedule a little bit more than just being all over the place every day.
Hello, I have a voice. Excuse me. I'm Paul Marks. I'm with the American Red Cross of Greater Kansas City, Northwest Missouri. Why am I here in Kansas? Because we include the Kansas counties that border Missouri in the metro area. In my 71 years around the sun, I've discovered that resolutions don't work. But that doesn't mean I'm not trying to do the same as you know, and everyone else. It seems, you know, improving what I'm doing, and also realizing, you know, this is really not immediately new, but not letting the news get to me. There's not a lot I can do about things, you know, and I may not like what I'm hearing, but there's not a lot I can do to make. Why should I be upset about it? Things I can do. So that's basically.
Nice to meet you, Paul.
My pleasure.
My name is Nada Townsend, and I am and have been for probably, I don't know, 10 years as secretary for one of our community associations, Turtle Hill. I also was recently with Groundwork NRG, and that was a small nonprofit that did really big things, and I want to announce while I'm on that, is that there's a new mural. If you happen to be anywhere near 19th and Quindaro, please go to the corner of 1913. It's JK Construction is the building, but there's a new mural by Lucky Easterwood. That's fabulous. He just finished it a few months ago. We were going to have a grand opening, but things change. So I'll just leave it at that. But 19th Quindaro is absolutely gorgeous. So KCK Tourism is going to put it on their list to go look at, but he's one of our eminent artists. So, but with that having been said, I want to thank you, Mina, because that question probably helped me focus on this year. I just kind of went into this year from last year. I think, things are like, kind of like he says, I've tried to set up goals and whatnot, but it's just frustrating. And so why should I make myself unhappy? I figure enough other people can do that, so I won't. But what happens is I know now that my goal basically is to continue what I like best, and that is advocating for Kansas City, Kansas. I'm a transplant, but I'm a diehard Kansas City, Kansas. I'm from Flint, Michigan originally, and it's just like home. And all the terrible things like the water or whatever, they're going on here. And so having been with groundwork for 4 years and working on the Heritage Trail and the murals, and the Charlie Parker Festival, which we did for a couple of years. My goal for this year is to continue advocating for Kansas City, Kansas in any way that I can.
Thanks for sharing.
I'm a Vegas husband, since it's obvious. I'm a Wyandotte County resident, have been all my life, graduated from Wyandotte High School, disabled veteran. And I try to stay active with the Turtle Hill projects and everything that goes in to Kansas City, Kansas. I try to be a part of it. Keep active. I'm a carpenter, been that way for like 20, 30 years, but mostly now I just do consulting and small jobs. I have a little crew that do all the work. So I plan on being here for a while, probably for that someday.
More likely by now.
I made it this far. Combat medic in Vietnam. Good for you. Wounded 3 years, 2 Purple Hearts and a Bronze Star. So I figured out done my service to the country. I'll narrow that down in Wyandotte County now.
Well, thank you for your service. Which branch were you a combat medic in?
Army and the Marines.
Oh, okay. I was a combat medic and a respiratory therapist in the Army. That's all I I think they got rid of combat medic, changed the name for something else and merged it with something. Yeah, I don't either, but I know I think I went through it in '89, and I think around in the '90s they changed it to something else.
Yeah, so absolutely.
Thank you for your service.
Okay.
Thank both for your service.
My name is Gabby. I'm a violence prevention intern with MOXA for Kansas. We do our work in Wyandotte County, covering for Maddie today. I'm happy to be here. Happy to meet you guys in person. I've joined a couple of online meetings, so it's super nice to finally meet you guys. Oh, my new users. I was like, what else? I really want to take. I graduate from college in December, so I'm trying to take both of my majors just a little bit more seriously than I have been, because I'm about to I'm already here in the world. I'm about to really be in the world by myself, and it's scary. So I got a new planner, and I'm trying to just organize my life better. And I'm also trying to not eat as many fried foods, because I eat a lot of fried food. Those are my resolutions for the year.
That's almost being done.
Thank you. We're so close.
Wendy, we're coming back to you.
Okay, so I'm Nancy.
Oh my God, sorry.
It's okay. I'm Nancy McNeely. I am with Kansas Department of Commerce and Workforce Partnership. And I also represent Neighbors Who Care. And basically, I'm the Workforce Services Supervisor for Wyandotte, Johnson, and Leavenworth counties. And I also supervise veteran staff. So thank you both for your service. And my role is to make sure that we're providing the services that we need to provide in our different offices, and then to connect with and assist in the community to make sure that we're doing something to help in the community as well. And also sharing job opportunities and opportunities for other jobs. I'm just going to throw this little dig in there real quick. We are having a huge job fair next week on Thursday. We have 13 employees scheduled to be at our office at 626 Minnesota from 1 to 4 p.m. And so I'm looking for a ton of people. We're trying to help those folks that maybe have been laid off or dislocated from their jobs. And so we have great opportunities for that, some really good employers. So I just want to throw that out there. I'm also looking for veteran representatives to serve in our office, one in Wyandotte County, one in Johnson County, one in Leavenworth County, to assist other veterans that are down on their luck. They maybe need to know how to look for work, how to do different things. And so if you know of anybody that's interested in any of that, feel free to give me a call. I'll have my cards and I'll give you a card afterwards and you can reach out to me. I don't have a New Year's resolution. I just kind of go with it. And, you know, a lot of times when you make a New Year's resolution, a lot of times people say make the resolution and you don't keep it, right?
February is done.
So I don't even make a New Year's resolution. My goal is to do the best I can with what I have, and just try not to overbook myself.
Thanks, Nancy. Also, what was the date and time for?
It is January 23rd, and it is 1 to 4.
Do you have like a flyer?
I do. And I said when I was driving here, I forgot the flyer. But I can send it to you.
Okay, and I can print it off for next week's monthly meeting. too.
Okay.
Yep.
Next week's is,
Next Thursday, like the same date.
okay.
It's our monthly meeting, so I can print it off. Okay, we're gonna move online. Ashley, you're the first person that I see. Do you want to go first?
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Ashley Hand. I am the Director of Strategic Communications with the Unified Government and a resident of Strawberry Hill. My New Year's resolution is maybe more of a goal. I liked that approach earlier. We are new partners in strategic communications, more intimately related now to our Livable Neighborhoods team, Mina, team of one, but we're here to support and come up with new ways to help livable neighborhoods and neighborhood leaders engage with their community. We have a lot of great new tools and new capacity that we've built over the last couple of years. And I'm really excited to bring that to bear to really help the Livable Neighborhoods Task Force with its mission. And then I just want to throw in there, we're also organizing the 100th anniversary or the centennial of Memorial Hall, which we hope to be a 3-day festival, really celebrating our veterans, our public safety folks, as well as the culture and community and wonderful things that have happened over the history of this building as a real center of community. So very excited to bring that to the community. It'll be a huge effort with more than one of us involved, and that's taking place in September. So really excited about that.
And her goal.
Oh, yeah. Did you share a personal goal or is some of these work
Personal
goals?
goal, I will go with, I had my 4th baby last year and I'm looking forward to being my own person again. So we're working on that.
Crystal, you're our next person.
Sorry. Good afternoon, everyone. Crystal McFetters. I'm the Public Information Officer and Strategic Communications, literally right across the room from Ashley. I'm trying to see I kind of gave up on resolutions because like someone in the room said, I can never keep it past March. But this year I'm being just truly more intentional about everything that I put my hands on or everything I'm involved in. I'm really trying to be more focused and intentional about bringing everything that I can to it. So that's it. Nice to see everyone.
I'm like, do I not know the definition of resolution?
I just always break them. like, I just break them. I have a whole list every year. I used to do this, oh, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and then I would never, like, one of them was like no sweets, but then this morning I had a donut. So I was like, it's already gone. So yeah.
Okay.
Just like the gym, I don't go to it until February. I do all my workouts at home because in January, the gym is so full, you can't use anything. But by February, they're all gone. And then you go back to the stuff.
That's intentional.
Yeah.
That's true.
The magic word for the year is intention.
My
And
online
in
call.
Crystal's defense, it was Hannah's Donuts. So, you gotta, when you're gonna go, you might as well go down the right way.
Yeah, my hands were tied. I had to support. So yeah, I had to do it.
My online call. Topic. We'll come back to Paul. Katana.
Hi, everyone. My name is Katana. I'm the Community Engagement Manager at Crossline Community Outreach. I will have to be leaving shortly, but I just want to come. I'm hoping to attend all future meetings, but I will have to leave early today. My New Year's resolution is to do more things that I want to do, and that means feeling comfortable saying no. So yeah, that's me.
Valid. We love to know. Emily Wolf.
Hi there. Sorry I'm not in person, just getting over a stomach bug, but I'm a lifelong KCK resident currently living in Rosedale, and I worked at a local environmental nonprofit for a few years and currently now an energy consultant. I'm still kind of figuring out the role, but definitely just passionate about KCK and energy and all things. And I don't really have a resolution, but all of you have hit on things I need to work on, like one being more active, but one of them definitely, I think probably all of us, I feel like people in this similar field have, is like the constant someone worry and news. And read this tip the other day that instead of like worrying all day like I do, maybe set aside like an hour a day or week or whatever, just to get it out of your system, write down, do it, and then move on. So I've been great at that, but that's something I'm trying to do a little more versus like wasting my whole day worrying about the world or things going on. So yeah, excited to be here.
Emily, this is Paul Marks. What part of Rosedale are you at?
So I'm in Hanover Heights. Love Hanover Heights, don't get me wrong, but I was in Frank Rushton for a few years and I really miss Frank Rushton. Definitely more entertaining and fun. Nothing against my current neighbors, but I always feel like I identify more with Frank Rushton, even though I live in Hanover Heights.
Is that about 40 something in Cambridge?
Yeah, right behind, I'm on Eaton, but right behind the McDonald's and by KU Med Center.
Got it. The reason I ask is my grandparents had the house on the corner of 42nd and Cambridge.
Oh, okay.
On the northwest side.
Is that right by the bank?
It's about a block north of the bank.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, I'll have to look for that house next time I drive by.
It has a detached garage, which I have spent time resealing in my youth.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
It's actually a lovely house. I would love to have lived there, but it's in 42 some 41 something 70 something Cambridge. It's on the corner.
Okay, perfect. I'll look for it. Thank you.
That's my connection with Wyandotte County.
Awesome. It's a cool area.
I hope you feel better soon, Emily.
Sorry, what was that?
Just saying, I hope you feel better. Sorry about the stomach bug.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You're too kind.
Paul, question mark, MCO.
They must have got disconnected.
Okay, well, we'll just get right into it then. So I made this colored PowerPoint.
Oh, before we get into it, don't give up on lamb.
Lamp?
Don't give up on lamb.
I have to. I have dreams and ambitions and aspirations to be a pescatarian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I grew up vegetarian, so the idea of pescatarianism.
Okay.
It calls to me.
That's fine. I get lamb so seldom that I love it.
It's so good. It's so good. So I wanted to go ahead and review our goals that we had for 2024 for our Community Connectedness Committee. So we said we wanted to increase language access in neighborhoods, We wanted to empower our active neighborhood groups, and we wanted to support our inactive ones and hopefully get them to an active status. We said we wanted to address concerns about loose and stray animals. I don't have to say pets, all animals are pets when you think about it. And then we also said we wanted to improve the condition of sidewalks, specifically maybe in like a 2-mile radius of schools. So I just wanted to put those up there so we can see what we were all working on last year. In regards to what we did in terms of those goals, so for language access, we had a really great conversation with Casey tenants. So that work is done, and we haven't set any more in progress kind of work or goals, but we can revisit kind of like what we hope to do when we review these. Also, at any point, if you want to stop me if I'm missing something that we've done or if something's in progress that I didn't put up here, feel free to stop me and I can make a note and update it. For empowering and supporting neighborhood groups, we have our ambitious goal to make a neighborhood booklet. So contact and survey all our neighborhood groups. To date, we've surveyed 15 different neighborhood groups, which means if we just count all the active ones, we have 44 more groups to go. So that's in progress. And then also related to this goal, we said we wanted to coordinate some kind of neighborhood group like convention, summit, town hall, something like that. So that's also in progress. And we don't have all the folks here today, but these are the groups that I have that we've contacted. Did anybody call a group that they don't see up here that I missed?
Yes.
Yes.
I will have to on my list, but I know that the one that's right around JFK. No, that's not what I do. It's Presidential Heights.
Okay.
I thought I inputted them on, but I can send you the list of the people that I contacted or make sure I have inputted them all.
Okay.
So if Turtle Hill is not on this list, it means that they're going to be on at some time in the future.
Yeah, so we as a committee have to follow up with Turtle.
No, Sylvia's on.
Did I have Turtle Hill?
I don't know who had who. I just have the list. Of, I thought I had the full list.
Person for, who's the chair of the Turtle Hill?
Oh, Sylvia King. She's, yeah.
I think did I turn her in? I turned mine in that I reached, because that one sounded familiar to me. I think I talked to Turtle Hill. I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay, I'll add it here. And if you could find,
Yeah, I thought that one was mine. It sounded familiar, but yeah, I'm on a bunch of committees, so I don't.
After the meeting, so we don't, have to worry about that, because also we get a new president. So rather than go into that, I'll make sure we, have what you need.
and then I can send out the questions again. I do want to, my resolution by maybe June, but I just work really good with dates. And we could hope to contact the rest of these 44 groups would be for me, a goal, a resolution for 2025, but we can discuss that more. Any other groups that we feel like are missing just off of face value right here? And then I can follow with the full group tomorrow, not tomorrow, today's Friday, next week. Okay.
Mina,
Yes, sir.
resolution is more like a promise.
Is it?
A goal is something you would do.
Okay, so I
At least that's how I see it.
resolve. Did you say?
Yeah, I resolve. Yeah, exactly.
Well, what if you don't resolve the thing? It's not a resolution, because I said pescatarian and I already had chicken last week.
You failed.
Oh, there it is.
Go back, baby, pick yourself up and keep on going.
Well,
You
okay.
just keep on going.
It's not linear. It's okay to have bumps in the road.
Absolutely.
And break your goal down to measurable things.
Sure.
So maybe only have chicken once a week
Okay,
and then reduce that down.
And lamb once a year.
I guess maybe more than once a year.
That would be true.
Once a quarter.
Okay, that'll be good.
Okay.
Call me when you're happy. We'll be good.
Only have land people.
Okay. Keep looking, Sonia. I'll come back.
Yeah, I
Um,
have to figure out what I put it under.
Next goal, we said address concerns about loose animals. So I can't remember if they came to the committee and presented the Friends of KCK Animal Services, or if I just had a meeting separately, but we talked about.
No, I thought I thought we seen somebody about some animals.
Was it Alyssa?
Oh, this is pretty knowledgeable. I was gonna suggest meeting with her if that
I know somebody came to the meeting
Okay.
about the sidewalks.
Right.
And then I thought we had somebody about animals, but it could have been at Livable Neighborhoods meeting too, though.
I also attend a lot of meetings. I couldn't remember which exact one it was, but I know that Alyssa.
I seen her speak, I just don't know where.
Okay,
If it was at that group or was it at Livable Neighborhoods?
okay.
Or yeah,
So maybe we can have them come to this committee specifically.
yeah.
But I know we did talk about briefly, they have an ambassador program. And they were asking us if we would help them to find like scouts to like help them promote their program. Cause I think they have like a mobile spay and neuter service that they're pushing out. And that if one of our goals is to kind of push along and help responsible pet ownership, then we can work with them on that. But I can have them come talk specifically. I thought they already had. I'm making it up. One sec. Bye, Katana. Okay, sorry. I'm making a note. KCK Animal Services. Okay, so that's one thing we worked on. And then I had a request from the committee to disseminate some materials that we have about responsible pet ownership. So like just rules that people don't know from Animal Services. I put that in our e-newsletter, and then some opportunities to foster things of that nature went out in the newsletter. So that's stuff that we did. Are there any work in progress things that I'm missing for loose animals?
Does Animal Services have like a yearly goals or like a strategic plan? Not sure. I wonder, like, as you're talking with them, having them come in, if it would be helpful if they like shared some of their goals to see if they overlap with addressing concerns about loose animals on the livable neighborhood side. Because then I think they're more likely to, partner together if they line up with their strategic goals.
That makes sense.
I don't know how this would be implemented. I'm curious as to asking people why they have pets. What purpose? I mean, for example, you have a nice fluffy little dog that you keep in your house or something like that, or your cat. But then you have dogs that you keep outside all the time. Why do you keep that dog outside all the time? Is it for protection? Maybe there's another way to do it. Why do you not keep your animal leashed or whatever? Find out what the real problem, what the source of the problem is. And again, I don't know how to implement it, but it's my ideas.
We could work with a couple of groups.
Yeah, okay.
See if we could send out a survey. I know, and I'll bring it up in just a little bit. I think I'm gonna appear that Strawberry Hill is one of the groups that they're really pushing for improvements and getting like loose and stray pets, animals off of the streets. So maybe we can target some groups that have been really vocal about issues that they have.
Yeah.
And we can send out maybe like a mailer, a survey, something like that to residents in those.
We get all those tear-jerking commercials about you're leaving your animals out.
Yeah.
Why do you leave your animals out?
Maybe I'm getting a good idea. I'm so sorry. Getting a good idea of what the status quo is. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I know that a lot of with stray animals, a lot of it is an estimate. But like, are they seeing how many do they pick up? What are they seeing? How many calls do they get? Like that kind of thing. Because I hear in a lot of meetings, both in livable neighborhoods and in neighborhood groups, stray animals come up all the time, like second to violence, stray animals and sidewalks maybe. But stray animals come up in every conversation we have about like how we want to better the community. But all we hear is that there's animals everywhere. We don't know how many calls, we don't know what a full shelter looks like. We don't know what the capacity would be or where like there's gaps. Is it just gaps in funding? Is it gaps in like community capacity? Is it gaps in a desire to call for animal services? Like what's the status quo?
So basically you're talking about doing an animal census. finding a way to.
Yeah, and I think along with like a survey of why do people own animals?
Yeah.
Well, what's the status quo? Where are we at now? So
Mhm.
maybe merging kind of both of those.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if we're getting ahead, and I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. No, I was just gonna speak from experience because my office is in Strawberry Hill and literally this morning, there was yet another stray dog in the alleyway. And I think that one thing, those are really great ideas, but one thing that we struggle with, especially in Strawberry Hill, is there are a lot of animals that are just dumped. There is a dog park that is very close to the highway. So very close to a lot of surrounding communities, and a lot of people drop dogs off there. So that might be something, I think that is what we need, getting that kind of census is a great idea. And will help, but also we need to think kind of outside that box, that some of the animals that end up in some of our community areas may not even be from people who live in our community.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because also Wyandotte County Lake, which is by my house, is another very popular place for people to go and just drop a dog off and then leave. And so people will do, you know, those types of things, typically not in the community that they live in. So how do we address that kind of situation?
And also, 2023, we hosted a forum specifically about like what needs animal services has. And there's just a gap in, I guess, the number of veterinarians across the nation. So then you have appointments for spay and neutering services that are pushed out months. So if you find a sleuth that needs to be spayed or neutered, just you want to check, you can't get an appointment for quite some time anywhere close to KCK. So I know that.
They don't come, they're so busy, they don't come out. I know on our block, there was a child bitten. And it took them 2 weeks to come out to even ask did we see the dog? You know, it's like, well, if it was I said, when did they get bit? She said 2 weeks ago. I'm like, well, what dog is you looking for? 2 weeks later, they could be anywhere. So like, you know, the response time if a child was bitten, you know, 2 weeks is kind of a long time to be looking before you even start to come asking folks about a dog.
Yes, but shouldn't stray.
Yeah.
So an idea that I have is, I can't remember what they were called prior to my tenure here at Livable Neighborhoods, but they would do those department updates and we rebranded them as Civic Connect sessions. So just deep dives to learn about department process, like what are their needs, like obstacles, why don't they respond to good neighbor training? I think it might have been good neighbor training. I can't remember, but we rebranded it and it's back. And I recently just sent on a survey in our e-newsletter to see what departments people would be interested in hearing from. And I don't think I included animal services, but I can see if they'll come and give a presentation and kind of explain, here's our processes, here's our services, and like, here's maybe what people are missing about animal services that could be helpful to them.
And you're talking about that for our monthly meetings.
Not the monthly meetings.
I'm talking about that good neighbor monthly meeting that used to happen before. It was the last Monday or the fourth Monday of the month, I think.
And it was always in
Before-
the evening.
Yeah, it was like 6 o'clock in the evening
Okay.
before. It usually fell the week before or the week after the Thursday meeting.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're bringing them back and we'll have animal services at 1.
Okay.
Could you also maybe, I know before, that was kind of before COVID and Zoom, but I would recommend adding a Zoom option to that evening meeting, because some of us that have to get kids here and there and back and forth, I could listen on the phone and participate in the car, but I couldn't actually physically get here.
I've only been to it on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know it was an in-person, but every time I went to it, the last year that I went to, it was all Zoom. But was it in person?
Last year was in person.
Was it okay? Y'all just had a Zoom option then?
No, it wasn't hybrid, it was just in person.
Maybe I'm on something else then, because
No, I know what you're talking about because something that we brought back. So I know that they did them on Zoom previously. I didn't know if it was hybrid because I know they happened during COVID as well, I think.
Pre-COVID, they were in person. Probably during COVID, they switched to
Zoom, okay.
Zoom, and then they might have tried hybrid,
Okay.
and then they might have gone away for a minute, come back, hybrid or only on Zoom or something like that. Yeah.
But we can explore like a hybrid. Sometimes hybrid is very hard to facilitate. So maybe instead of hybrid, I can do like a Zoom recording. Because I even know like this one will probably go up on the UG website, so then people can access it that way. But I can make it accessible, but I don't know, maybe not hybrid specifically.
Yeah, because Zoom, I mean, at 6 p.m., you're falling into dinner time, and it's okay, I gotta get my kids, I gotta get back home. And it's just hard to even think about coming to a meeting at that time.
Yeah.
You know, for all of the lot of people, I don't have no kids to get rid, but yeah, you know, if I did, I could see where that would eliminate a lot of people getting home from work and just wanting to wind down.
Yeah.
Like on Zoom, you can still cook.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate the feedback. The next goal, work we've done, work in progress, is the sidewalk improvement. So I know for sure we had Andy Roddy with Streets come, he talked about the sidewalk cost share program. And I found out personally from that one, a lot of information that I didn't previously know. It was very informative. I applied for a grant for Union Pacific to help, you know, to utilize the cost share program, and I was rejected, unfortunately. And then also we uncovered a digital city map that shows the severity of sidewalks, which I also didn't know existed. So I feel like we made some pretty good headway on this one. In reflection of 2024, I feel like this is a really big obstacle for us to tackle. So I have transferred, I'll say, a lot of this work to a professional committee that does like SEPTED principles, placemaking, and there's a lot of UG staff there and like nonprofit organizations that I feel like might be able to tackle this problem and make more headway maybe. So that's in progress. Any questions about this?
I did have one quick question to Emily Wolf, and at my old job, we, got rejected for grants all the time, but sometimes why they said was helpful for future. Did they say why just wasn't a good fit, or just curious? And if you don't recall, that's fine too. Or I just, sometimes it's just curious, it's helpful.
Yeah, I don't recall the exact language, but I can tell that it was one of those auto-generated response, like rejection letters. But it didn't give like a whole bunch of info about why my proposal or application wasn't a good fit.
Okay, no worries. That sounds good. Yeah.
But it is my goal. I do want to try again because rejection doesn't hurt me like that. I'll just keep trying.
Like I said, I've like my old job, we got grants rejected all the time. And so, yeah, so I was just curious, but that's helpful to know.
Yeah. I guess I could also see if I could email, well, it's probably too far gone now. Well, probably not. I can email and see if they have any feedback about what could have been better with the application. I just didn't think to do so at the time.
Oh, no worries. And if you're not it's not something you don't think you applied again, I don't really see the point, but if you think maybe it might be helpful, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know much. I apologize too. I don't know much about their grants, and I could definitely look myself too.
And I can.
I know that's one thing I heard, because I know like some other communities have like on staff a committed like grant writer, like a lot of cities and things. I know that's something the UG has wanted for a long time, I believe, but unfortunately we don't have one, someone who could be in charge of a lot of that, but I don't know. I don't think that ever came through or anything.
I don't think so.
I wonder on that though, if we were to start with a smaller grant, like, I don't know if the NRF would cover that. The Neighborhood Rising Fund.
I don't think so. So what I found, and the reason that I applied for this one, is a lot of grants, they won't touch infrastructure.
Yeah.
So grants that like I've known about in the past, and I thought, oh, I'll just check and see like if this would be a project eligible under those grants, and they weren't. So that's also,
I know, well, I wonder if there's just like if there's an ability for Livable Neighborhoods, or is this VPC? Like I said, okay, yeah. So if between Task Force Coalition and the MARC Community for All Ages, if we can find a neighborhood or an area that is not only within a certain mileage of schools so that kids can walk to school, but also certain mileage to community resources or resources that are primarily used by seniors in our neighborhood or in our county. If we could kind of combine forces and apply for a grant altogether, or with letters of support from Livable Neighborhoods, neighborhood groups, Community for All Ages, Mark, and like those kinds of programming.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would kind of bolster an application to work on a pilot site, utilizing the UG sidewalk cost share program.
I think that's a good idea. And I think my ads, I would want to get there. My ads would be from like this committee is we would need to identify a pilot location, because when we were looking at the sidewalk map, basically every neighborhood east of 635, like every sidewalk within a 2-mile radius of the school needed to be. So, and I think when we talked about it then, we were kind of wondering like, how would we prioritize going to which neighborhood first? If every neighborhood, like, you know.
But didn't you need the property owner's permission?
Yeah.
So I wonder if you then narrowed it down to which, because you only have so many schools, so you identify the schools and then look and see if they're like owner occupied properties that you could more easily get their permission than possibly, you know, an area that might have more rentals.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And then that could be a priority area because it would make the process easier.
And on top of that, not to add another layer, but if we need one, but I'm gonna. The ARP grant that Community for All Ages just got and put up the benches. They've got a grant to put benches in by like bus stops and things like that. See if there's like crossover there too. I can't remember where all of those sites are, but you know, we have access to that list. Because that way it would show that Communities for All Ages and that AARP grant, like would support kind of this initiative in this grant.
Exactly.
I know when he was here, he was saying if everybody agreed that that was in front of the houses that you could get the sidewalk. Cause they're gonna assess your taxes for it anyway. So that you could, you remember he said if everybody on the that side where the sidewalk was at agreed.
But I think that's like her point is that we still would need homeowner, like the permission of the property owner. So
Yeah, because the UG is gonna want the property owner permission.
Yeah.
The renter would not be able to sign it. So that's why I was just saying, if we looked at an area that maybe it was owner occupied and possibly elderly.
Yeah. I was also thinking another really easy solution would be neighborhoods with a lot of land, because then the land bank
would just.
But
Yeah, it's gonna be, and that's another thing too, in certain neighborhoods, it's gonna be hard because taxes went up again to get somebody to agree to a sidewalk. Cause they just raised my taxes. Now you wanna.
But if you do like a really good like education about, okay, if we get 5 of you to sign off on it, then there actually, was it 5 or 6? I can't remember this like magic number. I think it was 6. If we get 6 of you on one side of the street to sign it, then the sidewalk is free technically. Like there's no cost to the homeowner.
Yeah.
There's only a cost if it's less than 6 people.
And then it's effective use of taxes and maybe people wouldn't be upset.
Yeah, but some people like some people almost tripled.
Oh, yeah.
They couldn't afford what the taxes were before. But yeah, like over by Northwest, they doubled in taxes. I think my mom's might have doubled. I have to go back and get the bill from last year. But yeah, if you're talking about in neighborhoods where people are making less than 40,000.
Yeah.
And you took their taxes from when I first moved back home 5 years ago, I think the taxes on my mom's house was like 300. Now it's 7 or something, and lots were $5 because I own a few of those, and now they're $100 a lot.
Yeah.
So some people are, and then plus the $5 a month they want for the drain off water. So yeah, you know, just because all these bills are coming with 2 people, you're gonna have to really educate on it because people are kind of just skeptical about everything that's okay, you're gonna add to my taxes with that.
Yeah. And I think that's why the process is so, like, that's why we're trying to come up with all of these things and find that grant money, because you're right. People are like, we already pay so much in taxes. We don't want to pay any more for anything else. So that's why we're trying to find this workaround with the cost share program and like to find additional grant funding, because it's like, no, don't worry. You won't. You won't. We promise. We just need your, like, your permission. That's the word, to do this. And you're right. We would have to like explain that to them and say, this is only good for you all. We just need your permission. It will not cost any extra.
And maybe like some of that trust can come through working really closely with the neighborhood group.
You know,
Yeah. I feel like if we like layer it, like, okay, we're working with the neighborhood group, so we're already have like that trust established. We educate them about the cost share program, and then if we can secure a grant and say like, even if 6 people don't sign it and there's 4, we'll cover that gap in pricing, so there's still no cost to you as the homeowner. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a cheap.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I just think, that it has to be explained or you'll get some people who will deny it.
Yeah.
They don't really care. They don't have no kids, so they work by themselves.
Even after you explain it.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, it's important to point out too, because we can do all of this work as like involved citizens or as UG departments. But if we don't do that relationship building and if we don't do that education, then the community members that we're quote unquote trying to help or trying to serve are like, this isn't for us. We don't even know what this is. What is this for? No one talked to us. No one asked for our permission. No one talked to us about it. So it's an important thing to highlight.
I sent you the email. Turtle Hill was done last year, probably last March or something. I thought you were on the email originally, but I only sent it to you.
Months and months and months. I probably just missed it.
Okay.
Yeah, but thank you for resending.
Well, Mina, before you leave that slide, I just wanted to know, I think I would be really interested in seeing, I didn't really know about a digital city map of the sidewalk severity, but is that online? Is that on your UG or where?
I couldn't find it on the UG website. I had to reach out to somebody in like our technology department to
Okay,
get it, but I can resend it to you.
Also, on replacing those sidewalks, I'm being mindful on the places that they're gonna replace all the water lines. Because that was the reason that I didn't go forth and pay on my side all the way down, because I own like 3 or 4 of those properties over there. But they said they're coming through here and they're gonna tear it all up anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I wonder if, back to the sidewalk severity map, if when we do that good neighbor training, no, sorry, I'm combining 2 things. But maybe we could, in either a good neighbor training or in a livable neighborhoods meeting, have them come back in and show us that map and go through it with us. Because it's probably not it's probably a GIS layer on a map or something that's not like super accessible for the community. But if we could like go through it with one of the people that put it together, maybe it might be.
Like have them come here or come
Either here or to a good neighbor training or something like that. Because that way people would be able to see it and be able to be like, oh, well, what's my neighborhood look like?
Yeah, okay.
Or what does my kid's school area look like? Might be a little tricky though, because that is probably one of those maps that's like,
Yeah, and I think like the last time I went to, excuse me, to look at that map, it was a couple months ago. And I had to email the guy that sent it to me because it was corrupted. And so he's like, oh, I have to go back and fix it. So hopefully when I send it to you, it's fixed now. Welcome.
yeah, don't think that a priority, but just I have property, of course, here and it just, when you said uncovered, I thought that was something gonna be simple, but if whenever you get a chance, yeah, it would be great, just. Oh, probably heartbreaking, but great.
I see a hand raised.
Hello, sorry, I just wanted to offer, I think there's a couple of other resources and programs that might be interesting. Obviously, the Safe Routes to School program is a great funding resource, and we are a participant in that. Bike Walk KC is also an organization that provides programming around that, including things like walk assessments and stuff like that, which might be an interesting exercise. And then one other thing that I thought that we might want to kind of at least put into this conversation a little bit is we have a very diverse city where we go from urban out to very rural. And I think one of the things that we often see is that the community expects the same standard no matter where you live. And I think what I would suggest is not like, you know, a rural road, a sidewalk is a very different proposition than in a denser neighborhood where you have lots of houses and more people walking on the street. So that's just something that I think that's, we run into that confusion quite a bit, that, you know, a rural road, it wouldn't be very cost effective for any homeowner to pay for that sidewalk, but certainly in our urban core. So that might be something too, in terms of when you engage neighborhoods, where you might start is where there's, you know, perhaps the greatest need, not just in the condition, but also kind of the, you know, there's a lot of gaps in our sidewalk infrastructure, and maybe focusing on how can we go after those gaps too, would be awesome, I think.
Yeah, in addition to bike walk, doing walking audits, a lot of the NVRs will also do walking audits. I know that Groundwork has done them in the past. And so some of the NVRs may also have some walking audits. There's some information. I think that some of the youth groups have also done walking audits, but that might be a little bit more difficult to get information on. But if we're looking for more information.
Thank you. Well, thanks, Ashley. We do have 5 minutes, so let me continue on. This is really good conversation. Thank you. Yes, a little bit. Okay. So I thought of like some opportunities that we can progress some more, advance some of these goals this year. And one that I feel like is low hanging fruit is the UG has Proprio. A lot of our residents, people that live, work, play here in Wyandotte County are Spanish speaking. We could at minimum get the sidewalk application translated into Spanish. I feel like that's very easy lift. I said I was going to bring this up earlier, but Strawberry Hill is one of the neighborhoods that I feel like has been most vocal about their concerns with loose and stray animals. And they're currently trying to pick a good day to convene and discuss those concerns some more, hopefully get some action on them. When I find out a date, I'll send it to you all, and maybe as a committee, we can go help support their initiatives on that.
Yeah, because it isn't just Strawberry Hill. I mean, like you said, your house, I see it in Armourdale, I see it where I live at 32nd and Parallel.
Yeah, I just think like this one's somebody got recently attacked by a dog, I think is what happened. So I just think there's a lot of attention there right now that they're hoping to use that to push forward. And so I'm like, as things are happening that reflect or are in alignment with our goals, it makes sense to support them.
Well, and the solutions that they come up with could possibly work in other neighborhoods.
Yeah, the next pilot. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then this might take more than anyway. I have so ambitiously made a 2025 calendar, and I was thinking that some of these activities that I know, my North Star, my big wish list of things that I want to do, the Community Connectedness Committee can help me do them. So here's some proposed activities that we all could coordinate together. So I want to do 2 cleanups, one the weekend after Earth Day. And then nationally, September 28th is recognized as Good Neighbor Day. My first year working here in 2023, I coordinated like a Good Neighbor Week. I thought it was cute. I thought it was real cute. We could coordinate a Good Neighbor Month in all of September, make it the whole, not just the week. So this committee could maybe come up with some activities, some ideas on how to promote being a good neighbor. And their slogan is good neighbors make great neighborhoods. So I feel like it just fits really nicely. I would love to do some volunteer days, June, July, August. The weather's nice. So maybe we can help coordinate some volunteer days. We could do really cool ideas like back to school, supplies for students, or lawn care for seniors comes up every summer. And we can just kind of like push to get volunteers and build activities out around people's needs in the community. I put Good Neighbor Month up there. September, the UG is trying to host a neighborhood summit. I think that could be in alignment with our goals about empowering neighborhoods. We want to do some kind of convention. Also, something that I put up there that's like my hope is, I call them capital days, but we don't have a capital. So Ashley was like, well, city holidays. Like, yeah, city hall. to just make sure that our neighborhoods are better connected to our elected officials, and we can push for that. Let's see. I don't know why Good Neighbor Day is up there. I was very excited. Yeah, Good Neighbor Month, y'all. And then 2 more. October, I open up, well, not open, I open up. In October, I close our neighborhood impact grant application. And I was thinking that I want to make some adjustments to that process and that this could serve as like a review committee. We can pick projects that make good or substantial neighborhood impact and review those, accept them. And then December, winter luncheon, where we can coordinate again, some kind of engagement with neighborhood groups in December. So this is my ask of you all, is telling me with all these activities that I just put up here.
Good idea.
Thank you. I think so too.
So are you, since the task force is technically no more, this is gonna be the new, what the task force board was?
The task force is not,
Oh, it is
no
still-
more.
Okay,
It still exists.
okay.
And I actually have an announcement. Thank you for bringing that up. The task force is not no more. So
Okay.
for those of you that aren't super familiar, Livable Neighborhoods is a division with the unified government. We also have a sister organization called Livable Neighborhoods Task Force. It's a federally recognized nonprofit, and they help us to pursue grants and mobilize neighborhood groups. They work really closely with Hills Hill, Strawberry Hill. So they're kind of like the place where neighborhood groups convene. So it's not gone,
Okay.
but with some budget cuts, there were just some things that we were wondering, like, what would the future look like? Future is still here. So, but we're gonna skip that because we don't have any time. So in regards to that, the task force actually has some vacancies that they're hoping to fill. I know it's 2:00. I'm so sorry. If you picked up some papers over here, you'll see that one of them is an application. If you're interested in joining the Livable Neighborhoods Task Force Board, they are looking for a vice chair and a treasurer. So if anybody's interested in, it's no more than 5 hours a month. But there are specific duties that they're looking for. And so the other sheet is a list of those responsibilities. If you were to go on application, what you would be doing as the treasurer or the vice chair. Sorry, I have to burp and it's not. I'm so sorry. So if you're interested, I really appreciate you and fill that out and get it back to me and let me know which position you're interested in. Honestly, no pressure, but I wanted to, you guys are the first people I'm letting know about this opportunity. That's one of my little announcements. My second announcement is Thursday is our first Livable Neighborhoods monthly meeting of 2025. We'll meet in here at 9 a.m. I hope you all can join me in person. And those are all of the announcements that I had. I'll send out a digital copy of the application with the minutes. Yes. Questions, concerns, comments? I went really quick. I'm sorry.
I think we need to congratulate you on your new position. As I said in my email, I think you were probably doing the work anyway.
Yes.
You may not get paid for extra work.
recognition and the pay.
Yeah, the title's nice though. I like it. Executive director. Does anybody else have any? Thank you, Pam. Sorry. Does anybody else have any announcements that they want to share with the group before we adjourn?
There's a chat.
Oh, there's a chat.
I'm trying.
Emily loves the good neighbor idea. Thank you, Emily. I don't have like ideas. I'm hoping that this will be like the place for ideas. In 2023, when I did it, I tried to do like a movie night. Some of the events like weren't so successful. So maybe I can have like a sounding board. We can kind of like feed off of each other.
I remember like
A bingo card.
Yes.
Yeah.
but that was really great because it had really great ideas that you could like go chat with a neighbor or go, pull. It was like simple things that you could do within your neighborhood, kind of at your own pace if you needed to.
Yeah.
So that I love that.
Thank you.
And maybe that's an opportunity to like partner with neighborhood groups. They're like, it's a Livable Neighborhoods Strawberry Hill movie night. That way you get the people from Strawberry Hill and also everyone else from Livable Neighborhoods is also invited to come. And that way it's more,
You're so sweet.
I try.
We love your show. Okay.
Me-
That's an idea.
A comment. as representative of the Red Cross, I go to a lot of meetings, a lot of community meetings, things like that. I have to give Wyandotte County kudos for being one of the best I have ever seen. And in coming together, bringing people together, making it feel like a community. And I give, you know, you're a big part of it, but everyone who's working on it is a part of it. And I congratulate you.
Wyandotte County shows up.
Okay. Okay, if that's all the announcements, I will release you all, I guess. Thank you for coming. Our next meeting. Just send it out in an email.
Yeah.
Third Friday of February. I'll see you again. Bye, everybody online. Mina, what's your email address? It is M.